All right. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. It's the Series of the World Championship, as many called it. This is the EWC round of 4 upper bracket Group B. Reynor in the top left side of the map. Clem in the bottom right for Team Liquid. Reynor, of course, is playing for Basilisk. And this is the match everyone's waiting for, because these two, whenever they've played over the last few years, it is such a different thing to a Serral versus Clem match, right? When Serral plays Clem, Serral shuts Clem out, doesn't let him get going, gets him with cheeky build orders, surprises him with tunneling claw roaches, busts him with one of these fast Ravager pushes. You know, it's all beautiful tricks and planning and super greed when it's necessary and super all in when it's necessary. But when Reynor plays Clem, it is two of the fastest young men in the world, the best mechanics in the world, playing against each other. Now, I actually saw a comment the other day, and I'd love anyone to weigh in on this, and I'll need to ask the players and watch kind of footage to see. Someone was telling me Clem uses all of the fingers on his hand on his keyboard, and he kind of like proper makes use of everything, and when you watch him play, it looks quite elegant. And they were saying Reynor, on the other hand, only uses like 2 or at most 3 fingers for most of the actions that he does on his keyboard. So he kind of like just learnt bad habits early on and has never changed, and they think that's why Clem is actually faster than Reynor and more efficient than Reynor. I haven't fact-checked that. You guys let me know if you've got any news on that, if that's true or not. I'll do some research into it and update you guys in a future video. But I'm really curious, because for my early years as a pro player, was a 2-finger king. I guess 3 fingers if we count the pinky over on the control. My like 1 or 2 fingers were just darting around that keyboard. It was disgusting. It was so inefficient. Anyways, first drone goes to hideout, so he's getting ready to take the third base. Very standard hatch gas pool. Notice he's pulling workers off gas here, so they can start mining on the natural. That SCV doesn't quite see the drone, but he is blocking this base nonetheless as the Reaper comes forwards. Factory goes down, no second gas. Looks like a very standard 3 command center. This is exactly what we expect for Clem. Now, my big question is, does Clem play Widow Mine or tank focused against Reynor? I would imagine he plays Widow Mines and just tries to overwhelm Reynor mechanically. If Reynor can demand some respect, scare him, and potentially get the siege tank style out of Clem, I think that's going to favor Reynor a little bit more, because the Widow Mines just get so in your face. And something I've noticed is that Reynor, as fast as he is, when he's playing against a guy as fast as like Clem or even Beyond, when Beyond's really feeling it, if they're in his face with Widow Mine multi-prong all game, his creep spread does suffer. And that's not unusual. That's kind of just expected. But it's Reynor, his strength is normally his creep spread, right? It's one of the things is he can attack you in 2 places and spread creep near perfectly at the same time. But the moment he's defending 2 or 3 places nonstop and trying to manage his economy, the creep spread falters a little bit. So we'll see. It's a big part of this matchup, right? The creep spread gives massive movement boosts. We've got Ling Speed on the way. We do expect Reynor to play Ling Bane, by the way. And the more creep you get, the easier it is to crush Terran armies, to control the map. They give you vision as well. But on the other hand, if the Zerg can't get any creep out of their corner of the map, it's much easier for Terran to surprise them, to catch them off guard, and to keep finding damage. Now, Clem, honestly, him and Maru, even to a certain extent, have made Ling Bane look weak in certain matchups. Like Dark can't really get Ling Bane out against Maru. When Maru hits a timing attack, he almost always kills him, right? It's kind of interesting to see if Clem tries anything like that against Reynor, because I think Reynor's the one guy who is, unless you go for a massive all-in, like just an 8-rack super committed or something like that, if you're kind of just like, oh, I'll just apply some heavy pressure, I think he gets away with it too easily. He'll be like 85 workers, just masses of drones. And if he's allowed to survive that, Reynor will run away with the game. So this is definitely something where Clem needs to make up his mind on like how much he wants to commit to the pressure. Whoa. Sorry, guys. Getting excited there. Second factory, Hurricane engines. It's a heavy Cyclone Hellion opening to start off game 1. Wow, what a gamble. I love it. This is not what Reynor's going to expect. And he's going to go 6 Hellions. Now, it's very important to not take any damage on these Hellions, because you need those to basically... You're going to go with probably 6 Cyclones across this map. As Hurricane Engines finishes, you shove out and you do big damage. Now, one thing that is going to lack here is this Overlord will see the Cyclones coming. So Reynor will have time to respond. And unless you float your barracks over and kill it with a Marine or something like that, there's no way to really stop that. So I think you kind of got to realize this is going to be a little awkward for Clem to surprise Reynor. On the other hand, if Reynor is supply blocked or something like that, it could be a disaster. Zergling Scout sneaking across the map right now. He's made it look pretty normal, but this is going to be 8 Hellions, right? 4 on the front, 2 at home. I guess that's a pretty standard setup. Hellions will take that Zergling out. Oh, okay. Does stop the scouting. Reynor doesn't get to see anything. Didn't get high ground vision in that main base at all. Reynor right now, Lair. 4th base is on the way as well. The Cyclones getting ready to move out. There are 6 Cyclones. Hurricane Engines is almost finished. He's still waiting. I thought he'd go by now. He's gone back to Hellion production. He's waiting. Okay, Hurricane Engines is almost done. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. But there's more Zerglings already building. 62 drones to 48 workers. Reynor has no idea what's happening. We're going to go to Reynor's vision. Does he see the move out? The Cyclones are coming. He's got to look at the minimap. He's got to look at the minimap right now. He sees it. He sees it. He glanced down there just for a fraction of a second and immediately starts Zerglings. But he doesn't have a lot of lava available. Let's go back to everyone's camera now as we see this. So he knows what's happening. He's got 9 queens. He's probably bringing pretty much all of them to the front. He's got Zerglings. If he can get a big surround on the Cyclones, it'll be great. But that is a big if. Right now, the Hellions are separated from the Cyclones. Clem with a big mistake. No, not enough lings for the surround to punish. That Hellion on the left side should be an easy kill. Clem, he's going to lose the Cyclone if he's not careful. That Cyclone up front does go down. Queen's doing really nicely. Overseer does fall, though. Reynor tries to engage. He needs to flank this army if possible. Tacking into it front on is always very painful. The Queens, though, are doing a fantastic job. Dude, the Lings on the third. Lings on the third getting damaged. There are a few Marines and Hellions coming over to defend. 6 SCVs go down. A very nice run by for Reynor. Meanwhile, the Queen's holding on strong in the front, but they're out of energy now. They're out of energy. It always feels like you're making no ground as Terran, but the moment the Queens are out of transfuse, oh, if you can still have enough to push through. And remember, you're stopping him from droning this whole time. So the worker count, he was down 20 workers, now he's down 10. But if he loses all these Cyclones, then it'll be worth it for Reynor. Reynor doesn't get much, though. He gets rid of like 1 Cyclone. These Cyclones are still microing really nicely. Oh, and the Queens come off creep a little bit. He doesn't have any transfuses. 2 transfuses available. He loses a Queen. No, barely gets the transfuses down in time. Does get rid of 1 Hellion. 2 Hellions go down. The Queen's trying to fall back. He needs more Zerglings right now. The Cyclone Hellion on the front. Clem going for broke. And Stim Marines join the party. A massive problem for Reynor. The Hellion count's low, though. The Lings will get a surround. The Queens are going to take out 1 Cyclone, 2 Cyclone. The Lings get the 3rd. And as these Marines get overwhelmed, Reynor just barely hangs on. A very stressful moment here in Game 1. But surviving is all that matters. You've got a 4th base on the left with workers mining. A 5th base up there. And not only that, 1 gas, 2 gas, 3 gases. Very mineral heavy, which is exactly what you want in this scenario. The moment he defends, Reynor morphs Banes for a run by. There is a tank in position, though, so it should be pretty well defended. Depends where the tank shot lands. If it only takes out 1 or 2 Banes, you blow up the depots, maybe you get on the worker line. But I think that should be an efficient hold. Anyways, Reynor's droning, guys. He's going up to almost 80 workers, which could be fantastic. Tank gets a great first shot. Banelings instantly turn around. Nice defense by Clem. 1-1 upgrades are going to finish at very similar timings. Where's the armory, guys? It looks like that SCV got trapped in the back. Put it on a little patrol path there to make sure it doesn't show up as an idle worker. Widowmine shot on the Queens is very juicy. Does take one of those out. Marine Marauders on the left side going to be slowly damaging the Queens, but you got to watch out for these Banelings. Oh, beautiful spready on that right side. Dude, the micro is insane. Remember, when you're watching these two, this is not a standard Zerg versus Terran. If you really want to follow the action, you basically need to put this whole cast, every battle, on half speed. What you're going to be looking for is 2 things. Number 1, Reynor spreading units so the Widowmine doesn't land a good hit. And number 2, Clem retargeting the Widowmine. Clem is the best Widowmine targeting player in the entire world. He will retarget his mines more than anybody else. But at the same time, Reynor is so good at dodging. You will sometimes see them have a minigame where Reynor splits the Zergling that's tracked. Clem changes targets. Reynor splits the next target. Clem changes targets again. And they will keep doing that over and over. It is insane. All right, very nice movement on this left side. Reynor taking this front hatchery as his 4th is kind of wild because it's such a hard base to defend this choke point. But as long as you keep counterattacking, I don't think it matters. Reynor's up 20 workers right now. He's doing great. He catches the rally point here, gets in there, sees there isn't even a 4th base yet. Widowmines are coming, though. Widowmine. Oh, good hit there. Reynor not quite able to land that spready. Queens are in the front. Lingbane trying to roll forward. Tanks in the choke point. A couple of Marines do land. The Banelings not able to connect. Oh, actually, they kind of get in there. They got a few decent hits. The tanks get cleared out. And I got to say, a pretty damn good fight for Reynor there. Look at that. Queen will take a hit, but she gets transfused. She survives. The Widowmines get cleaned up, and this is amazing for Reynor. Hives on the way. He's got his 2-2 halfway done ahead of the 2-2 of Clem. His 5th base is there. 85 workers against 67. I mean, don't get me wrong. Clem has 8 barracks, but he's only now building the extra tech labs. Does he have a second factory? Yeah. So he's got a tech. Oh, obviously he has the second factory from the early game. Still only one starport, but that's pretty normal. No Ghost Academy yet. Also not necessary until those Lurkers and Vipers are hitting the field. And an extra command center goes down. So 5th command center starts. But this is a Zerg already heading towards 6 bases. The problem is that northern base not defended. And this is where Reynor needs to split his army very well. Because Clem's about to go into multi-prong mode. And there's a fight in the middle. Oh, looks like a Widow Mine just killed a lot of Zerg. Another great couple of Widow Mine hits. And a hatchery kill in the top as well. Did that hatchery get cancelled? No, it did not. He must have canceled that. Good multitasking, but he's got to defend both sides right now. Reynor, Queens, he's got to deal with a drop in the main base as well. There's a Spore Crawler there. Look at this. Beautiful spreadies and hold positions. The Widow Mines go down. Spore Crawler does deflect this drop, and a couple of Marines go down as well. Nice defense for Reynor. Clem, I would argue, was quite behind, but he's starting to, like, multi-prong, clear creep. He doesn't have enough medevacs to hold this position. Okay, Reynor needs to punish him right now. Reynor needs to do nothing but army production and slap down something like this, because there are not enough medevacs to actually guard all of the units. I love the spore placement, by the way. The problem is that Clem's so good at dodging, he will find the hole in between the spore crawlers, even in the midst of so many other things going on. Reynor normally unstoppable from this position as the hive comes up. I don't know which style he should play, though. Should he play Lurkers? I think Lurkers is still good for a long time. There's no ghosts out. There's no real tank count. High-drilling Bane rolling forward. Widow Mine's not landing the hits that Clem was looking for. Beautiful engagement for Reynor. I think this is a really good fight for him. He's pushing Clem back. Clem not able to pick up straight away. He's just got a stim. Oh, barely gets that stim out in time. He's still focusing Banelings. Dude, can you not? That's illegal. That's way too high level. Ling Bane. Focus fire? No, good hot pickups though. Widow Mine will get a decent shot. Nice plays for Clem, dude. Meanwhile, he's still getting chased home on that right side. Widow Mine's getting a few decent hits, but nothing massive on those Zergans. Baneling's connecting now. Clem's still doing a fighting retreat on this side. Overseer does accidentally drag a Widow Mine shot. He's trying to drag it onto the enemy. That one he drags away from the Ling Bane. Baneling's in the worker line, but only one gets in. The tank on the high ground does save his bacon. Oh, another Baneling gets in though. 11 workers go down. Command center in the north is going to go down. Reynor has this. Reynor has this. Unless big counter damage can happen right now, that's going to be an issue. I think a drop in the main just got cleaned up as well in the midst of this, because we just saw a pack of Zerglings running out of the main base back to join down here, and he's barely going to be able to defend with just 3 drones and an extractor. Those are trivial losses compared to killing the 5th base, getting 13 workers on the 3rd, up 30 workers right now, or 27 to be a little more exact. This is an amazing start. Now, Reynor's going to go mass Lurker in the corner. I don't think that's the greatest play. It's okay, but he needs to quickly spread them between the bases. Lurkers are a checkmate move right now, guys, because Clem he's got 3 orbitals and nothing to deal with them. He's only got Marine Marauder. If you just spread out, he doesn't have scans. Like, he's dropping mules because he's so poor. He's so out of scans and energy. So I think as Reynor, even though, how is Reynor down in supply? I mean, I get he's trading worse, but dude, Clem's income must be crazy. Clem is on 72 workers. He's up in supply somehow. The Lurker counterattack should kill him, though. As long as Reynor can defend here and get more Ling Bane, the Lurkers should just win the game. He's going to siege them all in one location. Okay, I don't really like that move. He's got to move them in deeper. Reynor needs to move these Lurkers in deeper right now and split them into multiple bases. Leaving them all in one place, all he's doing is denying bases and killing depots. And remember, the longer you leave it, the more perfect the situation will get for Clem. Oh, Clem flanks him. He flanks him with the retreating army. Oh, no. Oh, Clem with an amazing move. Oh, my gosh. That was like 7-8 Lurkers. That was so much money. If there was a Lurker here, a Lurker here, a Lurker here, a Lurker here, it literally is undefeatable. Not to mention Lurkers on the map, because he has no detection. He cannot deal with Lurkers. That was a crucial mistake for Reynor. That first wave of Lurkers was not something that Clem was ready to deal with. But Reynor sent them in on their own in the corner. He tried to do a cheeky maneuver, but it ended up backfiring. Clem with an amazing crisis management to bring those units back from the north, flank the army with a big 360 surround, and now he's finally got his 5th base established, something which his 5th base kept getting denied. He's so late to this 5th base, but does it matter? Reynor's never established a 6th. His creep, remember what I said about the constant pressure? His creep spread stopped spreading. He's completely stopped spreading creep in a lot of these paths, so his creep slowed down. He lost the Lurker momentum there. He does have 2-3 upgrades, so he's got +3 carapace and adrenal coming in, but it feels like without that creep spread, he's not really building to the future, right? He's not got big game-winning moves with like Lurker Nidus or Lurker counterattacks. He's also not got creep spread. So it feels like Reynor's frozen up a little bit in the intensity of this game. I think the pressure of Clem, I mean, that's a good surround, though. That's a good surround. Not enough space in the medevacs. I guess one of them still had a bit of space, but he didn't quite load correctly. Oh, Lurkers! Lurkers! Oh my gosh! Reynor not burrowed! Oh no! A crucial mistake! And look at the way Clem moved those units up the right side. Reynor needed to target the Lurkers. You need to target Lurkers on the middle of the pack. But because he moved units on the right, he dragged the Lurker spines away from the majority of his force. A massive snipe for Clem. Oh my gosh, Reynor was crushing this game. He was doing so good at multiple points. But Clem is an absolute hellspawn. Oh no, if he gets this top base again just as it finishes, you're kidding me. Reynor's so far out of position, he's desperate for counterattacks, but this is too late, you know? Okay, he can get a command center, that's a nice kill. But he's going to lose a hatchery in the top, which is a much more important thing right now. He's going to go for an Itis in the main. Once again, though, it feels like these moves aren't quite synced up, right? This is happening when there's no pressure on Clem. Oh, Clem with a mistake! Clem's first big mistake of the game, but he quickly scrambles and saves most of the units anyway. Lings do manage to clear the third. This is good damage. Oh, Reynor finally finding some value here. Oh, that's massive. 16 workers. Doesn't quite kill the command center or anything like that, but he does get a lot of the Zerglings out as well. New Nidus Worm in the back. Reynor's finally in his aggressive element, but unless he gets the win, he needs to use this move to respread creep and try to reestablish either the gold base in the bottom left or that top base. And right now, Reynor is not showing an inclination to doing that. Nidus Worm gets cleaned up in the back. Nidus Worm goes in the mineral line, but tank is in range. Yeah, Reynor's trying to kill him. Reynor's trying to like surprise him, surround him, catch him off guard. But I don't think he even has many queens. He's got 4 queens, but he's not respreading creep, and that means he is not planning for this game to go much longer. The longer it goes, the better it is for Clem because of that. Oh, that was a good Widowmine shot, wasn't it? He needs new overseers. He's going to make 1, but he needs that sooner rather than later. And oh gosh, not again! Clem's going to deny this northern base because Reynor's not reestablishing map control. He's trying to put Clem on the defense by being aggressive. Clem is refusing to accept the defensive position. Every time you go to attack, like against the lesser Terran, they would pull into a defensive stance against a Zerg being this aggressive with Niduses and mass Ling run bys. Clem, though, he only exists in one state, a state of permanent aggression. You might not know it to look at Clem in human form, but in game, he is the most roid ragey Terran in the entire world. This man just wants to punch on. Like, he literally just wants to fight. He doesn't care. Oh, Parasitic Bomb's big, though. That's a big, juicy Parasitic Bomb. The Spore Crawler does get focused, though, and he might be able to save some of these Marines, but he's not watching right now. Those units will all go down. Nidus Worm in the main base might come up on the left side. Widow Mines, actually good spready there. Nidus Worm, Lurker in the main base. This could be effective. Lurker's starting to burrow. Don't think they're in range of the siege tank, though, so a scan will slowly clear those up, especially with the Liberators and the scans. Not really getting the value, is he? He's got to go out that right side, try to split up these problems as much as possible. Lingbane Hydra trying to come forward. The bio on that high ground, just abusing this choke point all game long, getting amazing value. Double Lib in the left side. Unfortunate miss siege angle there. Doesn't quite, actually barely gets in range of one patch. The Lurkers in the back of the main getting cleaned up right now. In the third base, Lings are in there again. Dude, this game is utter chaos. In the bottom left, Reynor is going to try and dive on him as well. He lost his hatchery down there. Fungal Boy comes up, lands a big boy Fungal. Does unfortunately lose the Infestor, but the Lingbane comes forward and the hot pickup. There's not enough Hydras to stop it. There's no Vipers here on the front. They're still gathering new energy. Ghost over there cleaning up those Hydras as well. What is going on? The Liberators slowly getting dealt with Parasitic Bomb, but if it doesn't have enough to actually kill them, then what is it really going to achieve? The Hydras are going to slowly deal with these libs, but at least only one of them. And remember, Reynor is still on his initial 5 bases. He's had these 5 bases since like 7 minutes into the game. This is not what it is. This is not how you win the game because he just doesn't have money. He's got no creeps, right? The Widow Mine. Oh man, don't clump up into that Widow Mine. The Widow Mine's denying him. Clem goes for a 6th base down here. Of course, Terran is always able to survive for longer on less bases, but look at the efficiency. 13,000 resources more efficient now. These Widow Mine fields that weren't really cleared up earlier and are now just gaining value over time because remember, you didn't have the Overseers. Looks like finally an Adduct gets rid of that Liberator, but he's got 32 workers on 4 mineral patches and Reynor is out of steam. That first big Lurker wave, I think, was a huge missed opportunity. Clem had no answer to the first Lurkers, but you have to remember, this is how, I remember a few years ago, it was maybe 2022, I want to say, maybe 2021, there was a period where Clem was really good, and then Cyril and Reynor would always break him. It felt like they were like dying, and then they'd always kill him with the first Lurkers. They'd just split Lurkers up, hit every base, and because he wouldn't have the orbitals, he would not have an answer. But he missed that opportunity, did Reynor, and then after that point, the moment Clem started pushing this angle and denying this northern hatchery, and you can see just how much space you have to cover corner to corner on this map. It's an immense amount of creep. You can tell why Reynor ignored it because he's like, well, it's going to take me so many minutes to get creep out to this watchtower, to get creep up here, to like actually control map vision across such a front is such a Herculean task And he was like, I'm just going to try and kill you. But Clem's defense was way too good against the Niduses and the Ling Runbys, and he kept sniping this hatch repeatedly at the same time. All right. What the heck is this build? We got a gas first opening for Reynor in the top right, Clem in the top left going barracks gas. And oh man, so many thoughts about that last game. And someone's saying, you know, Clem's so good at on-the-fly crisis management. He really is. And do you know what the transformation was? Because remember years ago, where I was very big, if you go back to some of my older Clem casts, I would say Clem is very good at attacking and not bad at defending, but compared to his attacking, he's terrible at defending. Like, there was such a vast skill gap between aggressive Clem and defensive Clem. And the difference is when you're attacking 2-3 places, you're never really using select all army. Your units are organized. You go, this is control group 1, dropping in the Zerg natural. This is control group 3, hitting over here. This is control group 2, sieging the front. And you just, you know, you'd kind of have a system in place. The problem that Clem ran into is the moment he was on the defensive, the boy would do what every Terran player can relate to this. They would spam F2. And that's what Clem would do, right? He would panic F2. You'd see, basically, there was too much moving his whole army from one side of the map to the other constantly, and then having to reset those actions. Like, oh crap, I pulled the drop back. Now I got to grab it and send it back. This is something you see Hero, to this day, still has to do all the time. That's why when Hero's on the defense, he also struggles. Now, the SCV does scout this hatchery first. So this is something Clem got way better at. He very rarely uses F2 on the defense anymore. He's really good at just like manually and methodically grabbing things. I don't know if he studied Maru's very rare first-person view streams, because I think Maru's traditionally been one of the best at this. Now, what is this build, guys? So it's 2 queens, still 2 workers on gas, but I think that's just because you've only got, you know, you don't have your natural open yet. This is an early Ling speed rush. Clem is going to play second gas very early because he realizes, okay, you're probably going to try and Ling flood me. I just want to get up like very quick Hellions, but then also have the money and the gas to go very quick Banshee behind it as well. Hellion Banshee, normally the safest opening against a lot of, you know, Ling Roach all-ins, Ghost River's a tiny map, anything like that. That's usually considered the generic safety option. And I think this is a wise choice. 4 more Lings are building, so it's just going to be 8 Zerglings with Ling speed early on. He's going to deny the SCV and deny the Reaper. And the thing is, you're going to be blind, right? As Clem, you will be blind once that Reaper goes down. Ling speed's almost here. He could try to dart past, but Ling speed's here. Uh-oh, get out of there. Lair coming down. Reynor's rushing. Reynor is rushing, guys. It's Queen Ling drop or Queen Ling Nidus. I'm not sure which one it is, guys, but it's one of these. He's either going to, he hasn't got Overlord speed, so it has to be the Nidus. I think, yeah. So he's going to go for a Nidus Queen Zergling all-in attack. Now, he doesn't have a spotting Overlord yet, so I think he's just going to run up the ramp and then throw the Nidus across the ramp, maybe? He doesn't have an Overlord, or maybe he morphs an Overseer. No, he's going Overlord speed. Okay, so he's going to go for the drop. So he's going to drop Queens. He's going to bring like 3-4 Queens, drop those over. You can then always morph either the Drop Lord or a different Overlord into an Overseer on the front if it's Cloaked Banshee, which indeed it is. And then it's just going to be a billion Zerglings coming in. Clem sees no third. This could be Mutalisks, though. We know Reynor does love Mutalisk play, and he excels at using it. Oh, I like that. Hellions on the low ground. Does he get in? Oh, the Lings are getting deflected without the Queens there. The Hellion's actually getting some value. Clem with some slick moves. Now, Clem needs a bunker on the high ground. If you can get a bunker on the high ground, he can defend. But you need bunkers filled with Marines. Right now, he's not even building Marines. He needs to start Marine production right now. Marines are so important against this, because if you can't get a bunker up, you're just in the doo-doo, guys. Now, he sees 3 Queens, very little creep. He's got to realize something's up. There's going to be a double Zergling drop as well. Oh, he might just drop straight into the main base, actually. We've also got another Overlord over there, so he's going to drop 8 Lings in the corner of the main as well. 16 Lings into the natural. Reaper here, scouting. He sees no workers. Bunkers need to go down right now. Bunker on the high ground. He's got one up there in the main. I actually want that to be behind the minerals, personally, would be even better. If you could get a bunker on the natural as well, that would be nice. But here we go. Ling drops coming in from all sides. Oh, he just got 3 Hellions surrounded. Oh my gosh. Massive mistakes for Clem. His Hellions just got surrounded. Clem is in trouble. He's only got 2 Hellions. The Lings are going to drop directly on top of the Hellions to try to take them out. There's Queens here as well. He can drop creep if he wants to, and that could allow him to transfuse. Transfuse could be good. The Banshee's trying to take out these Queens. He might have to load into the Overlord to save these. Right now, the Queens are going to be taken out by those Banshees. Oh, I think he's got to save the Banshee into the Overlord. Oh, yes. Okay, the Queen into the Overlord, sorry, from those banshees. So there we go. Oh, and now we can dodge the banshee projectiles. Beautiful micro here by Reynor. He's going to be able to get a few more transfuses out. Those banshees are going down now as the Overseer's here. The Overseer is not actually in range of the other one, though. He's got to be careful. The Lings have killed everything else. Everything else is gone. He's got a few Marines and Hellions in the middle of his production. The Cyclone pops out there as well. Nice little corner that he's fighting in, but with the Queens defeating the banshees, Clem cannot hold on. And that was bad observing by me at the start of that. I apologize, guys. So let me show you the Hellions going down. So the Hellions are here, right? And then he goes back, but the Lings are already in front of him, and there is no escape. So he kind of hides on the high ground, comes in for the surround, surrounds 3 Hellions immediately. The 4th one just gets A-moved to death. And that is a disaster, because you need those Hellions to help clear those Zerglings. And with only 2 Hellions still out, oh, it's just such a big problem. You can see the bunker doesn't quite get up as well. If he got a few Marines in the bunker, you can imagine having a bunker get mass repaired is huge. But what a sick all-in for Reynor. Great way to come out on a map that's really bad for Zerg in game 2. So, yo, Clem won the favorite Zerg map, but now you've won the favorite Terran map. Evens things out. 1-1. All right. Reynor with a dirty all-in gets himself a nice victory to start things off. No Overlord. He's going to go for probably a 15-15 by the looks of it as well, with the extra drone coming in. Clem in the top right side. Now he's got to worry about some cheeky BS. And he's going to go for a low ground 2-Rax Wall-Off. So it's going to be 2-Rax Reaper up against 15-15. I think 15-15 destroys 2-Rax Reaper and always comes out well on top. That's my opinion. The question is Reynor nearly as practiced with this as Serral? Because I would say no, definitely. I don't think anyone's very good with 15-15 in general compared to Serral. I mean, Serral showed that there are so many variations and adjustments you can make to make this like one of the most well-rounded openings. If you're capable of throwing all these different tools out. For Reynor, like, what does he even use a 15-15 for, is what I've got a question. Like, because normally Serral likes roach openings off this, but he's shown that you can do it very greedy into like a gasless 3rd hatch, get a link speed that doesn't finish till like 4 minutes. In this scenario, you have to go at 4 queens straight away to defend, try to open up these minerals, and usually take this 3rd on the left side against a 2-Rax Reaper. But time will show us. Obviously, Clem doesn't want to go for 3-Rax Reaper because he's Clem, unlike guys like Cure and Beyond and the like, who are kind of addicted. They love their 3-Rax Reaper, not quite the same here. Now, Reynor is going to go for the standard 16 on minerals, then he takes the gas, and then he should be putting these drones on the natural straight away. Oh. He's actually just manually microing them to stay on the 1 patch. That was odd micro from Reynor there. Interesting. Yeah, normally you send these drones to the natural straight away. Okay, so he doesn't bother. I mean, I guess the first one, technically you can mine like 5 more minerals in the main, then send it to the natural. But yeah, interesting. Not a big variance either way. You then usually rally your next 2 workers onto gas, and then you consider going for that 3rd base out the left side. Now, he does see the 2-Rax Reaper. Clem, of course, has no scouting, no vision. That depot looks so exposed with this build, but at least you can always wall off behind as well. Command center should be going down here at 2 minutes and 9 seconds, and we know there's at least a commitment to 3 Reapers so far. Now, Reynor's already building Zerglings. Now, you don't actually need Zerglings to defend this because you've got Queens so early, but having the 4 Zerglings does help you, just because, I mean, you're playing Clem, and he's so annoying with these units, and oh, going on the ramp would have been a problem because you can't Spore Trick there, but keeps it alive, gets the cancel off, and oh, Lings almost get it. He's delaying his inject. Oh, Reynor's going to go early creep. That's kind of crazy. Oh, but he almost kills the Reaper, and he gets the creep treatment. Oh, this is worth. Good move. He's got to mine those minerals on the gold, though, if he wants to go for the quick 3rd base option. He's pulled off gas completely. He's going to go Ling speed. So he's going to go for a kind of 15-15 into a relatively standard build order. Interesting. So Reynor just using a 15-15 to get into a macro game. 2-base muter is an option from here off this sort of start, because 15-15 is very good for 2-base openings. Lings are going to lose 2 of them. So 2 Zerglings have gone down. Still, the fact that he only built 3 Queens does slow down his opening a little. He also didn't connect the bases with creep, which is actually a huge problem. That's usually the most important thing here. Evo chamber block is nice. Didn't fully block, but at least it saved the drone as well. Oh, don't want to be losing a Queen right now. That Queen needs to get back to the high ground. Reynor should be fine. Good high ground defense, and he gets a Reaper for his trouble. No! Clem, that's unreasonable. Get out of here, mate. 3rd command center and a factory behind it for Clem right now. He's got barracks with a tech lab and a reactor. Reynor's... Oh, he takes the purple gas. Reynor is obsessed with this purple gas. He loves this base. And honestly, it's not worth it. Not if you're going to have to cancel the hatchery. I think this is really good for Clem. Gets himself a free hatchery snipe. I also think this is such an easy push area with tanks against a bio. If you're playing bio tank and he plays Ling Bane, which Reynor appears to be playing Ling Bane, like he's got Ling speed. Do you guys think maybe he goes 1-1 Roach Ravager all in? He could do like a 1-1 Roach Ravager all in and make it look like it's Queen Zergling for a long time. That is an option. He's back on gas in the main. Second gas taken in the natural. It's not really Reynor's style, but on this map, you need to do something special because the Terran pushes down the middle are so annoying. Oh, Lings are on the wrong side of the map, guys. Oh, big mistake for Reynor. He's going to pay a price. At least 3 drones should go down here. Beautiful Evo chamber block. Okay, wow. What? This is the thing. Like, sometimes I watch these guys, best players in the world, and I think, I wish I could do that. How has he not lost drones yet? Okay, he's going to lose. Oh my gosh, he even sport tricks that one. They're not done yet, though, are they? Oh my God, it's a lot of mining time going down. It is a lot of mining time, but still, how did he not lose a drone? How did he not lose a drone? I mean, he's not happy with that mistake by any means, but that was still kind of awesome. He is going Roach Warren, guys, but it just got scouted, so he canceled it. No, it's there. So yeah, he's planning a 1-1 Roach roll, and like I said, he's going to make it look like it's Ling Queen, and he's just going to go for a big Roach play. This can work. Unfortunately, Reynor's economy is not that great. He's Overlords are popping. He's got drones building, but he's missed quite a few injects, I believe. Third base is obviously a bit delayed as well. So he's got 16-3, 16-3, and he's going to have 3 workers on that rich gas and a bunch there. Double Evo needs to go down real soon if he wants to hit this build order, guys. Reynor desperately needs that double Evo. 530 is already, like, this is kind of hitting the later end because this is delaying your 1-1 upgrades. 535 it's okay, but definitely something he's got to make sure he is on top of. He's going to build 5 roaches because he knows they could be a marine timing soon. But that being said, he's not fully saturated on 3 base, right? He's still missing 2 gases in the back. So this is a 5 gas 1-1 roach style at the moment. Oh man, the Banshee comes in. Lair's not ready. No Spore Crawler. Oh, Reynor taking big damage. Banshee is so rare. A follow-up to 2 Rax Reaper. This is not Reynor playing bad. This is Clem playing spectacular, guys. Who goes Banshees here? It's not common, especially for Clem. I know that Beyond used to do this a lot as a surprise tactic because he'd go, you never expect the Banshee follow-up. But dude, Clem is catching Reynor completely off guard, and Clem now finds himself in a monumental lead. I mean, this is disgustingly good. It's so fantastic for him. And that Banshee flies away. This one only got 1 kill up there, but this one got 9. Not to mention the massive amount of mining time, the spores, all that stuff. Reynor's trying to re-drone. He hasn't even started 1-1. I mean, Reynor is in the dumpster right now, and he realizes this game did not go the way he wanted to at all. Personally, I don't think trying to force the purple gas base makes sense on this map, guys. I know it's a good bonus, and you kind of want that bonus, but if you don't take that base, you've actually got a bit of room to work and respond. I mean, this base is so easy. I mean, to be fair, I guess he can't really siege it if you're playing Roach Ravager, but Reynor finds himself in an awkward position. Way behind in the upgrades. Second factory goes down for Clem. Clem is building siege tanks as well. So Clem knows exactly what he's up against after those Banshees. Three base workers for both sides, but Clem is up in the army supply and the upgrades. He's going to clear the creep, and the Overlord could potentially go down, but no, he doesn't want to risk overextending. What's down here? Scanning the main. Lings are ready in case a drop sneaks by. Infestation pit's on the way. So I think Reynor is going to try to play up to Lurker Viper. If he had some fungal out and he caught this with a double fungal, he could get back in this game, right? I mean, I'm an expert at playing Roach Ravager from behind against Bio Terran. I'm telling you, when you're playing from this position against Clem, it's just, you need some magic, and his infestation pit's only just finished. I think he kind of has to play 2 infestors and Hive at the same time. Hive goes down. I just don't think 2 infestors is really going to get you back in the game, but he has to do it, right? He has to. I mean, he doesn't have the gas. He doesn't have the gas. Oh, 4th base getting denied is so problematic. Now you're stuck 3 base versus 3 base. Clem's building his 4th. He's building 2 tanks at a time. 2 upgrades are on the way. Your 1-1's not even finished. And Clem finds himself in a dominant spot. I mean, hats off to Clem. Great Reaper harassment. Really good just managing the opening. The Banshee surprise as well. And you might be wondering, why is Banshee so rare off of a 2-Rex Reaper, right? The reason is, well, you want to usually go Medivacs early to pair up with the natural stim and marine production that you have early because you have an early second barracks. Going Banshee delays all that. And it also is not a very well-timed Banshee because you've gone for such a late factory. So it's like, it's one of these things where it's like, well, on paper, if you say, oh, arriving with 2 cloaked Banshees at 6 minutes, is that good? No, that's terrible. But it's the fact that it's unexpected, and that's what makes it good. So this is one of these things, like it worked this game because Reynor was discounting it as an option. Sometimes that's when things become good. Playing the metagame, Clem very well. Because of that, he has a big lead. Now you might be thinking, big lead, look at the supply, does that matter? Yes, this is spilt milk right now. Roach Ravager is the spilt milk of the Zerg army composition. If you don't lap that up very quickly, if you are not a hungry, cat or something that licks that milk up off the ground, it's going to go bad really quickly. You're going to have mold spores. Your kitchen's going to smell really bad. Roach Ravager does not scale well into the late game is what we're trying to say in a very convoluted, metaphorical sort of way. Double drop goes down into the main base at the same time. Clem claims control of the middle of the map. There is no splash damage, guys. It's just Roach Ravager with a few Hydras. Without the chance of fungal biting this army, I don't think there's any way to slow this push down. Remember what I said, he needs at least 2-3 infestors. Big fungals on the Marines. If he landed one big round of surprise fungals early, maybe, just maybe, but Reynor makes the mature decision of giving up his 4th base at the front. Unfortunately, he's struggling to deal with this drop at the back at the same time. So he's only mining on 2 bases right now. Lurkers are getting jumped on. Oh, and the Marauder just does not care. They do not care. There's just not enough firepower for the Zerg. The numbers are actually in the Terran's favor. Tanks are sieging deep on creep. There's still one drop did go down, but a full drop is still available. Overlord's getting popped. Oh, my lord. This is savage, man. Friendly fires himself as he scans to clear the creep. Clem taking his time a little bit, but the Lurker Roach Ravager is going to come forward. He's going to engage on top of this. The biles come down. The tanks will get overwhelmed. Probably should have unsieged and pulled out of there, to be fair, but I think Clem is so far ahead on Ghost Tank production. 5th Command Center building up against a Zerg that is barely mining right now. And Reynor finds himself in a bit of a dark corner. Queen's going to take down that Marine there. We've got a bunch of Marine Marauder moving down the right side as well. What is a good Marine to Marauder ratio? You just build whatever you can build. Ooh, Hatchery does get sniped. Dude, yeah, I mean, this is just helpless. Reynor's got nothing he can do. I mean, Clem hasn't, because he lost all those tanks, he's got 8 more siege tanks. How's he got 8 tanks? Oh my lord. He lost like 5 tanks on the front. He still has 8. If he brought all of his tanks, this would be game over by now. In terms of Marine Marauder ratio, so basically early on you just build Marines, and then you have 1 tech lab for the upgrades, and then you have 4 reactors. And then once you build 3 more barracks, you build 3 more tech labs. So at that point, you've got 4 barracks building 8 Marines at a time, and 4 barracks building 4 Marauders at a time. And you just kind of go for that split, and obviously you can replace the Marauder production with Ghost production whenever you need that instead. But if you want, early on, you can go 2 tech labs, 3 reactors. I think that's a really good thing for mid-level players, average Joes. Because if you basically can go for 3 barracks with, like I said, reactors, 2 with tech labs, just gives you a bit of a meatier army, whereas Marines are a bit more of a glass cannon. Tanks just sieging up in range of the Lurkers. One of them does go down. Reynor's trying to hang on right now, but it's just, his Lurkers are unsupported. He's going for a massive counterattack on the right side. Clem scans, sees it, and dives on top. Beautiful spread. His hatchery goes down. Here comes the counterattack, guys. Mass roaches, ravages, Hydras trying to go in. The Hydras don't have any upgrades. They're, of course, mostly just there to morph into Lurkers. So Clem's already breached his production, essentially. Is Reynor going to be able to do the same? There's a tank on the high ground. There's a Ghost there. There are some Marines popping out. The SCVs are going to buy a little bit of time as well. A couple snipes. I feel like eventually this bio production will clean these roaches up, especially with these tanks coming back. Oh, those tanks actually getting really nice coverage from the low ground. Meanwhile, on the other side, the tank bio pushes in. A few Lurkers trying to morph. Reynor does not have the numbers to staunch the flow of Terran, and that is going to be a big problem for him. Main base is finally defended. The last Ravager goes down. The roaches soon to follow, and Reynor gives up. The Reaper run-by did big damage, and then those Banshees just surprising him. Now, I think there's an argument here that Reynor could have scouted it. If we go back to about 4 minutes, often what you'll see in these sort of games is Serral will have snuck an Overlord behind the back, and brought like a second overlord up to be on the front or something like that. And if you do either come in from the right side or from the left with like a more classic scout, like when you pull back from the barracks, if you rotate it around, very easy to see this. And if you spot this anywhere between 4 and 5 minutes, you've got plenty of time to respond. Just throw a spore down on each base, you'll be good. But Reynor and Dark are two players who are very fun, intuitive, and a little chaotic compared to someone like Serral. They're not as methodical, and I've always pointed out they do not scout as obsessively as Serral does. And usually it's fine because they're such good players, it doesn't matter. But in games like this, that lack of scouting, especially when he's so occupied with the Reapers, cost him massively. All right, guys, going in to game 4. Clem is in the lead, 2-1 now in this series. Oceanborn, one of the more balanced maps in the pool. I remember the previous season's map pool, I was like, this is a really good Terran map. But now it's become one of the more balanced maps, I guess. As the map pool, there has been a little bit of a shift towards it being very claustrophobic in this matchup. The Zergs have been rather vocal, complaining about how, you know, hey, you got to play maps like Ghost River, Cloud, Crimson Court, you know, in a best of 5. It's hard. It's hard to stack up those wins, but, you know, Reynor pulled out that nice all-in on Ghost River. This map, I wonder how he plays it. I'd love to see Reynor win a straight-up game. I really do feel like this is a very different series. If Reynor closed out game 1... Remember that the 7 Lurkers, what did they do in Golden Aura, guys? Because that moment's going to live rent-free in Reynor's head for a little while if he ends up losing this series, especially. 7 Lurkers ran onto the 3rd of Clem. Clem had no answer to it. He burrowed, and he killed 2 depots, and Clem just lifted his command center and ran his SCVs away. And then he lost every single Lurker. And it was like, Clem had like 1 scan. If those 7 Lurkers were spread out, Clem's just screwed. And it hurts, but it's been a while since players punished Clem for this. Like I said, it was like 2021 maybe when Clem was getting punished so much. Back on I think actually even around, I think it was still happening where Clem was dying to early Lurkers on geez, what was the name of the map? Babylon LE? I think it was Babylon, right? Babylon was a map name, right? I think it was, because I think Babylon was in a map pool, but then it stayed on for the next season's map pool with like Ancient Cistern as well, if memory serves. Reaper doesn't kill anything. Now this is interesting, guys. This is a really quick ling speed for Reynor. Goes for the creep tumor very early. Clem gets himself a Zergling snipe. Reynor accidentally pulls the wrong Zergling forwards. So 3cc opening for Clem, no fear for him. And he does build a second Reaper. Wow, 2 Reapers, okay. Oh, Reaper goes down. 3rd hatchery goes down. SCV goes down. Reynor gets himself some value. Clem's been bullying him. And Reynor snaps back, man. I just had, you guys know all those videos of like, bully meets instant karma. I remember there was one of like this kind of chunky fat redhead kid. And there was this little rat kid who was like hitting him or something. And then the redhead kid went full Hulk mode. It was like the embodiment of what every nerd that's been bullied, like it's what we all imagined as kids we would do one day to our bullies, where he picked up the kid that was like hitting him and then like dropped him on his head. He like did like a full wrestling move. It was one of the greatest videos of all time. Hope the little kid wasn't hurt, but he did look reasonably concussed in the video. I'm not promoting violence towards children. Violence shouldn't be the answer. Sometimes, though, a bully does need to get dropped on their head, so they stop, you know? And that's essentially what I was trying to just... Clem's a bully, and he just got dropped on his head. Let's get back to the commentary, Pig. Anyways, 4 queens are out, 6 more on the way. We've got a creep tumor there as well. 3rd hatchery is a few creep tumors. I mean, I really feel like the other thing is Reynor basically didn't even try to keep spreading creep on Golden Aura. I think on this map, he should keep it going down the edges a lot more, because Golden Aura is just such a weird, diagonally long map. There's way too much ground to cover. Creep tumor does get sniped. Overlord comes in. He's like, I'm not going to get surprised by cloaked banshees this game. We're gonna scout. It's crazy because I feel like, you know, it's weird because Reynor and Dark, when they're playing their best, they really play Zerg with no fear. I honestly feel like it's almost a superpower that they will play like that last game where he didn't scout at all. And I feel like Serral, even if he does not scout, he's so aware of the risk he's taking and the fact that it's incredibly risky. Whereas I feel like sometimes Reynor and Dark just take risks because they just feel like it. They're not even fully conscious. It's like a subconscious choice to just do whatever. I don't know if that's accurate. Maybe this is partially my imagination, me making things up, but definitely feels that way whenever I'm watching them play. I love how delayed these spores are, guys. They're so late. A lot of players would have panicked and built them much earlier. Hellion just got sniped there as well, so he's lost a Hellion and both Reapers. These 3 queens are split up. Uh-oh, does he have enough Lings? Hellions could cause some damage here. But this is actually really good. The queens come from behind, Lings from the front. Oh, he overshoots though. Well, I don't think those Hellions are going anywhere. They can't quite finish the Lings off. Good luck getting through there, yeah. Wow. Don't tell me he kills a Banshee as well. Oh, transfuse. Oh, barely gets the transfuse off. Dude. The bully just got back up, trying to swing at the little kid again, and yeah. Reynor just picked him up and he just backhanded him. Clem finally gets some damage done. Does get a queen. The Overseer's going to be out soon, though. So he's going to have to back away. I mean, what's he killed? A queen? A few Zerglings, an Overlord. Great start for Reynor. 5th base on the right side. The creep is looking good, too. And that really is one of those small things. And this took me so many years as a Zerg player to really realize that often if a Zerg vs. Terran game drags on, it is so often decided by how well the Zerg maintains a rhythm of spreading creep in between all the fighting. Because it can often feel like you just don't have the time to do that, but if you keep on respreading that creep over and over, it's a big difference maker. Nice harass, though. Clem, I thought it was completely over with the Banshees. I didn't think he was going to find any more damage in this game. Gets in, gets a few drones. Oh, almost gets a queen there as well. Good transfuse, though. And he's forcing, like, the queens to kind of split up in all these positions. Oh, another drone. Dude. Okay, Bully's fighting back a little bit. Hitting him with the old, your dad's poor. Don't you guys love kids' insults, by the way, guys? They're so, like, mean and weird. I remember as a kid, the kids would just say stuff like, they'd just be like, you're poor or something. You'd be like, what the, did you just call someone poor? Like, I'd be like, your mom's fat. Like, you're just like, this is some wild stuff. This is like so taboo as an adult, and kids just don't care. Banshee goes down. Second one does take big damage. Infestation Pit's already halfway done. 82 drones against 67. This is kind of looking like Golden Aura, but maybe even better for Reynor than Golden Aura. 1-1 is done ahead, whereas remember the upgrades were very even on Golden Aura. So this time there is a lead on the upgrades. Let's see how quick he is to start 2-2. Armory just finished. Hasn't started 2-2 just yet. Lingbane's chasing him around. Oh, he's got a bio-mine pressure on the top. If he can snipe this 5th base, that could be good. Reynor. Guys, 2-2 hasn't started. 2-2 has not started. Clem goes for 3 more barracks, but that's allowing him to catch up. +2 weapons finally starts. Marines on the right side. Reynor's close enough to deal with it. Saves the hatchery. Good spreadies on the Zerglings. He can clean those Widow Mines up. Should be able to respread that creep as well. Drilling Claws has not started. There is a second factory on Attack Lab, guys, but he hasn't made Drilling Claws yet. Neither has he made +2 armor. +2 armor does start up. Vehicle weapon starts up. Reynor's going to need to split his army half and half. Okay, Reynor splits his army up, guys. But he has... Okay, his respread creep here. I would have loved him to get some tumors on the high ground. Clem's doing a really good job of keeping him pinned in. Oh, double Lurker Den. I don't like that at all. Adaptive Talons isn't even that big an upgrade. Lambo was talking about how, since it got nerfed, it's really only worth rushing the range. He said he never really liked double Lurker Den, but it's especially bad now. And I also just never really loved it. But, I mean, if he goes for the quick Lurkers and does the siege everywhere, there's once again, there's not a good answer to it. There's only 3 orbitals, not that many scans. So if Reynor can go for an early 10 Lurker morph or even 6 and just start scattering them around the map, it's going to be hard to deal with. Widow Mines get a few decent shots, but nothing too crazy. Clem not getting any huge retargets off in this game. Widow Mine? I'm sorry, the Marine drop on that side. Oh, only 3 drones. Okay, that could have been a little worse. There's spores in most areas, but the main base is undefended. Ooh, Widow Mines did a lot of friendly fire. Those medevacs need to be careful now. Units lost time, though, is 1,000 in favor of Clem. Clem's got 3 Widow Mines. Drilling Clauses on the way. Vehicle plating. He's got 8 barracks. 3 tech labs up there as well. Lings and Queen in the main base should be able to push this drop away. I'd love to see a bit more creep spread down here to the bottom edge of this main so that he can put a spore here and a spore here. But he's got pretty decent placement, does Reynor, and there's no real easy way for this drop to ever get out of here. Unless he goes straight through the middle, but the queens are covering it. Lingbane's ready on the right side. Double Lurker upgrades coming in. +1 range, +2 carapace coming in, as well as the 2-2 of Terran. Widow Mines are there. One of them goes down. 2 before they can fire. Those 2 don't really land on anything. Good fight here for Ray. Reynor is also, he's got muscular augments, but he has forgotten grooved spines, guys. Notice grooved spines is not upgrading, so he does not have the Hydra range upgrade. Double drop down the south. He's looking for a hole. Any hole's a goal for this double drop, and it will indeed find it. Surprising there was no Overlord down here to provide vision, but of course Reynor is incredibly busy with the pace that Clem sets in this game. Double Lurker upgrades are done. Where are those Hydras, guys? 8 Lurkers are ready. They're morphed. If he can get those scattered across the front line, I think that's the best way to deal with Clem. I know this is an older style that not many people use anymore. Overseer gets blocked. That was meant to be for a Nidus Lurker. Lurker Den will not get sniped as the Lings do manage to... Oh, the Lurker placement's bad. Great drop for Clem using the choke points, but Reynor will scramble back, get on top of it. Just so annoying how frustrating he is dealing with this. Where are the Vipers, guys? There are no Vipers out. 3 more Hydras building. Remember, he does not have Groove Spines. I worry that Reynor's taking too long, guys. He's taking too long. Once again, he could be hitting with individual Lurker harassment everywhere. Reynor's going to be looking for one big knockout punch, though. Lurkers are coming in from behind. Does take a Widowmine shot on the Lurkers. He does not have Vipers for Abduct or Parasitic Bomb. Ooh, got a few Baneling hits there, though, which was pretty nice. He's going to redrop on the high ground is Clem. Reynor, is he on hold fire? He's on hold fire. Oh, big volley, big volley. I can't believe Clem didn't notice that. They walked right through a Widowmine, but he did not realize where they were. He's going to try and drop on top like a crazy person, though, every time they unburrow. Very nice move there. This double drop is still alive. Clem, can you lose your drop like a normal human just once? Finally, it goes down to the queens. Now the pressure's actually mounting. It looks like a few more bio units tied up there as well. Viper is finally on the way. The lack of anti-air is so frustrating as a Zerg player, but he's finally getting there. Double Nidus Worm in the back. He's going to be able to throw up the double Nidus Worm in the near future. I don't think he wants to throw it there. He'd like to throw one in the main, one in the natural would be a really good way to do it. He's probably going to try and do that now. Massling Bane on the front, but we do have siege tanks out. How many tanks are out, guys? No tanks, actually. Okay, I don't know what that sound was. I thought it was a siege tank shot. Maybe not. Ling Bane Hydra rolls in the front side. They blow up the Widowmines before they can fire. That Widowmine is going to be a big shot. Does take out 14 Zerglings and Banelings. The Marines and the Ghosts trying to hold on. There is still another Widowmine shot. Oh, those Widowmines are juicy on the Zerglings. Yes, they friendly fire a few Ghosts, but that is okay. Hydra Bane on the front. I don't think he can actually stop to kill the Command Center, though. Is Reynor doing enough damage for this to be worth it? I think the 17 workers means yes. I think 17 workers makes it absolutely worth it. Overseer will go down behind this. Nidus Worm's going to pop up in the front. That's going to allow him to reposition his Lurkers. If he can pop Lurkers out here, siege this base, pop them out on the left, siege that base, that could be effective. But Clem anticipated this, stims down and catches it. And Reynor's creep spread has been arrested. Notice his creep's not spreading behind this. This is the thing. His APM is so busy attacking that he's not enforcing his map control. There we go. Okay, a little bit of creep, but only in one area. He's not throwing it everywhere. He's not spreading his tumors. So Reynor really needs to overwhelm and kill Clem. And to be fair, you don't want to go to endgame on this map. It makes sense to not prepare for endgame and just try to win now. Widowmine does get a big shot of 31 kills on that Widowmine. The other one is 13 kills. The Lings do deny a few SCVs, but great reaction speed by Clem. New Overseer comes in down that right side. He's going to need to keep on sending those Overseers in over and over. Nidus Worm gets sniped over there. Nidus Worm behind the third, though, is definitely an issue. Clem is going to have to stim to deal with this ones, but he's not in position. Changeling spreading through the base is going to be hard to deal with as well. Marines over there. Crazy counterattack for Clem right now. Nidus Worm gets denied on the third base. New Nidus Worm goes up in the main. Changelings are getting targeted. The Marines over here will get destroyed. But wait, is he going to get the hatchery? Clem, you unreasonable freak. Manages to cancel the hatchery. I think he might have even sniped the drone there because I don't see it anymore, which means it can't be rebuilt. New Nidus Worm in the main pops, but it immediately gets sniped down. Dude, Reynor, I don't think he's actually being able to break him. Clem is like a friggin' rock wall right now. And Reynor, he's scratching at the wall. He's scrabbling at it. He cannot break it down. Clem is scrambling like a friggin' beast. He's shut down the Changelings and the Overseers in the back, now making a new Overseer, but Reynor needs these Overseers. He should have extra ones in reserve waiting outside. He's got the money. Reynor should not be having these gaps in the momentum. It's a huge problem right now. He keeps making one Overseer at a time. He should make 6. Send them here, send them in one at a time, something like that. But he's got to keep the vision up because his creep spread has fallen by the wayside. He's got a little bit more on the south. These tumors that I was talking about have not been spreading at all. He finally got 2 new tumors there. No replacing creep up in the middle area. The Nidus Worms are actually his best creep spread device right now. Fusion cores on the way as well as +3. Vehicle plating will help Medivacs as well as the Starport, the Liberators, sorry. Ghost does get caught. Good evacuation, though, before the Viper can get on top. Parasitic Bomb could have busted those Medivacs, as could Abduct. Viper's still looking for it. Viper's still looking for it. Oh, great parasitic bomb. Does cop an EMP, but the parasitic bomb will take out one medevac. Good spready for Clem, though, to minimize the damage. 91 in the main gets denied. 91 in the natural. Good yeah, he's going to burrow the Widow Mines, do some decent shots on these Lurkers. Does damage them, but the Lurkers are up. The Lurkers are up at the same time. Banelings and Hydras rolling in the front. The Liberators in the bio defend. Clem, perfect micro on the right side, but on the left, 15 workers go down. Armory is exposed as well. He's also popping a few Lurkers out. The Knight is onto the other side of it. Snipes are coming in, though. Snipes are coming in. These Lurkers getting minced. Ling Hydra up the guts, though. Reynor still finding value wherever he can. What the heck is going on? Clem desperately trying to hang on. He's got 6 orbitals, 2 planetaries. If Clem can remax and just keep himself solid, he's not losing bases, right? Then he will be able to survive eventually. I mean, Reynor, we know he runs out of steam in the late game. He is an early late game player. He's good at swarming. He's good at multi-prong. But he does not set himself up for late game. He doesn't have a Great Aspire. He doesn't have a Broodlord swap available. This is good, though. The Lurker harass getting in behind there. Gonna start denying that base. Baneling's going for the roly-poly. Oh, my man doesn't need invincibility frames for that one. He's just gonna roll in there and overwhelm. Oh, but a good hold on the right side. Clem guns down the Hydras and Zerglings. Lurkers do good damage on this side, though. He's still back there, damaging that planetary fortress. Nidus blocks the command center from landing on the left side. Sorry for the zoom in and zoom out, guys. I am a little bit excited, and it is hard to keep up with everything that's happening. Clem is trading 7,000 resources more efficient. It's good. It's not great, because Reynor does have the middle bases starting to mine. He hasn't really mined like this base on the left or anything like that. That's an issue. This game is so high pace, which is why I haven't really had a chance to talk about it. He is not stealing any of the bases, and I understand why. I mean, Clem's constantly counterattacking the moment he can. The moment you don't have a Nidus in his base, he's coming at you. Oh, Hydras. Doesn't quite get the medevacs. Gets one medevac, but only had 1 unit in it. New Lurker popped out. I love the Lurker. Lurker on the high ground's actually even better. Pops out of the Nidus and then runs back in. That Lurker does the Abe Simpson there. He steps out. He says, what? He did not expect Bart, his bloody grandson, to be working the desk at the bloody adult venue, did he now? Nidus one behind this base as well as inside the main base. Lingbane Hydra gets us around. Oh, Clem messed up his pickup micro twice there. You could see he was trying to boost in and hot pickup, but he didn't quite get it. The chaos is getting to Clem. Reynor is putting Clem on the defensive, and he is finally revealing the weakness of a Clem who actually makes mistakes. You just need to critically overload his systems. He is much more resistant and resilient to this than most Terrans, but eventually no human can deal with this much chaos coming at them, and this is Reynor's specialty. Reynor surrounds the Ghost on the right side. Somehow 4 of those just survived. Hydra's cleaning up Libs and Vikings, but a lot of units going down as well. 8,000 resources behind. Oh me, oh my. Okay, this is a real big problem right now, guys. I feel like Reynor was almost breaking him, but now look at the army supply. 40 army supply ahead. And I think Clem might just have weathered the storm. I mean, these 2 bases are still mining, which is big. Reynor's income is still amazing. But taking this base over here is going to be very difficult. Oh, he has 2 queens nearby, luckily for this Liberator. Remaxing right now is Reynor, but his bank has been spent. He's got plenty of gas, not much else. And I think Clem may have got past the worst of it now. Clem's also got lib range. No, he doesn't have lib range, guys. Fusion Core, I think it got killed earlier. So he doesn't have lib range. That's actually really good for Reynor. And oh, nasty Liberator Siege up there doing well. Snipes from the high ground, taking out a few Hydras and Overseers. Very good value. Liberator on the right side also being a bit of a D-bag. This is something that Reynor is struggling with right now, guys. He's struggling with the multitasking, and Clem... Oh, Clem is back in this game, I think. Okay, Queen in the bottom's going to go down. No, that one barely survives. But in the north, okay, the Hydra and the Spore finally get back on top. Reynor's still on 82 workers, but now supply block slightly, building a few more Overlords. He needs a good fight. Infesta. Fungal Boy. He's got 2 Fungal Boys on the map. I don't know where the other one is, guys, but we've got this guy waiting to fungal this army. Oh me, oh my. It's a great fungal to start this fight. And the Hydras, the Vipers, the parasitic bombs on the medevac. A brilliant ambush. The parasitic bomb did so much damage. The medevacs are almost gone. The Liberator's getting flanked right now. The Liberators are going down. A beautiful engagement here by Reynor, setting it up with the Fungal Boy from underneath. And the command center will go down as well. Behind this, he defended his base. I think another Lib might have come in, but it looks like it did go down on the south side. Lib on the north is still there. Spore repositions. Reynor handles it just fine. And that was a brilliant engage. Just when Clem weathered the storm and moved out to take a 6th expansion, he exposed himself, and the Fungal Boy set up the perfect engage. The Fungal Parasitic Bomb, those medevacs are so vulnerable. 1 more Parasitic Bomb on them, and many of them will go down. Liberator repositions here, though. Dude, the Liberator harass is so annoying. It's so hard to deal with. Oh my gosh, Clem pushing so deep with the counterattack. A crazy choice for Clem to be counterattacking right now. The fungal comes in, and that's it. That's it. The fungal. I can't believe you left there that quickly. Clem is like, no, no, no. I'm not letting you watch these medevacs die. What a D-bag, guys. Guys, this is etiquette. If your opponent pulls off a move that beautiful, you stay in the game and you watch your army die, okay? This is something I truly believe your opponent earned it, okay? He earned that fungal and watching your full medevacs go down. You've been in his face all game long. You can at least let the medevacs die, dog. GG, well played. Reynor ties up the series and takes us to game 5. All right. Now in game 5, and the intensities are Clem in the bottom right side, going to be going for what appears to be a 2-Rax Reaper wall-off yet again. Reynor in the top left. It's site delta to decide things. A map with a big spread on your bases. It's all about multi-prong. It's about swarming over. Creep spread, like I've been talking about, is massive on this map. It can be game deciding. There are scary pushes down the middle. There are beautiful angles with like tanks behind these like little areas and stuff. You can also put tanks behind this area, or you can put like a tank here and a tank here. I mean, there are some beautiful little tank edges all over this map. But I wouldn't be surprised if Clem just plays Biomine and just says Biomine in the north, a Biomine in the south, attack, 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 non-stop from start to finish. And 2-Rax Reaper is, of course, going to be a nice tempo start. Looking to delay Reynor's creep spread. Reynor, though, does go hatch gas pool. So it's 16 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool. The most standard build that there is. That does block the Reapers from rotating behind. And that could be fantastic. Pig and drop bears real. Yes, they are. But right now, you don't have to be worried about them because they are watching in anticipation, because this match has their full attention. There is no creature in the world that is not a fan of a Reynor vs. Clem StarCraft match. We're going to sit side by side, eat popcorn, have a good time, and afterwards they'll go back to trying to decapitate our children by dropping on them from the treetops. Right now, I don't think Reynor's going to pull off gas. Let's see. This map is so common for the 2-Rax Reaper wall-off. So he might start pulling off gas and then quickly put back on gas when he sees that the barracks are on the low ground. Let's see. Because often you pull off gas about now anyway, as you hit about 50, 60 gas, because then the drones can get to the natural. But Reynor seems to have called it. I think he's thinking, yeah. And he sees the Reaper straight away, so he knows, because that Reaper popped out from the natural, that's how it was down here so early, that this is indeed a 2-Rax Reaper build. Ling speed should be starting instantaneously. 2 queens, 4 lings, Ling speed on the way. We're going to see how much damage Clem can do. If we can get a couple of Zerglings, that would be the dream. Drone, highly unlikely. Good pullback so far for Reynor. Tries to use the high ground, but Clem is so smooth with that micro, dude. Trying to land hits every time Clem runs the high ground. He gets the Zergling. Clem. That focus fire of his is so good. All right, we've got some units floating around the map. Reaper's dancing left, right, and center. 2 barracks on that natural. Overlord's just kind of having a bit of a cheeky perv from the high ground. Reactor goes down. Should be seeing a tech lab in a sec. Come on, show us that tech lab, baby. Yep. Don't know why I'm getting weird about their build orders, guys. I'm just excited. It's game 5. Oh, Clem. Dude, these grenades are so good. Can he get it? Yeah, he gets it. He gets it. Oh, he gets a queen. Great grenades. Reynor makes a mistake there. Gets his queen caught out. And that's expensive. That's not good. That's very good for Clem, not good for Reynor. I feel like if the game just goes standard and continues, Clem is a favorite. Reynor, you gotta find advantages, right? You gotta do special things. Clem's just gonna try to outplay you. Good Reaper micros so far. Dude, he's so good at that. Just calmly changing directions when the Zerglings overshoot even a tiny bit. Oh, but they do all go down. At the end of the day, very good trade. Only 4 Zerglings go down. Losing a queen, bad, but then getting all the Reapers straight away is actually really good. This puts Clem in the dark. He doesn't, he can assume there's a 3rd hatchery, but he doesn't know what's going down. He's not playing safe. He's not going to build a bunker. If this was a Baneling bust, Clem would lose this game. Hands down. If Reynor was crazy enough to go for a Baneling bust in game 5, this series is over. Like, Clem actually just loses the game right now. That's crazy to say, but that is exactly the way it goes. Your accent's gradually turning American. No, my accent was way more American before. It depends. If I'm really trying to do a teaching moment, I become more British. Like, what you need to understand is the medevacs here are perfectly timed. Now, medevacs on their own are not very useful, but timing out with 16 Marines and Stim to the optimal moment where you have a combination of high damage, but without the risk, because you can pick, you know, it goes back and forth. I'm a social chameleon as well. I'm one of these people where my accent changes all the time. If I speak to Australians, they say I sound American. Americans say I sound Australian. And British people say I sound like an idiot. So it is what it is. I'm okay with it, guys. Now the starport should be swapping off and building a new reactor. Double drop's going to come forwards. Kind of crazy for Clem to have taken a risk in Game 5, but I think it goes to show how well he knows Reynor, and the fact that he knows Reynor was not going to Bane bust in this game. We've got 7 queens there, 2 more on the way. Double drop coming in, and this should be enough queens to defend, but he's light on Zerglings right now, so... Yeah, no, because they don't have combat shields or anything, and it's actually so few Marines, right? He's pretty chilled out. Now, I think Reynor usually wants to establish this 4th base up top, which is why he's so actively denying that. Lings and a Spore Crawler ready in the main base, even though the Spore wasn't quite done. 3rd Command Center floats out now. Zergling not going to block that, and there is a Siege Tank on the high ground. This is an insurance tank. Very good move. This is something that's very, very powerful. I know a lot of the players out there love to add that in there. Otherwise, the Ling run buys, the Bane roll buys can be very problematic. Remember, it is only 3 barracks so far, though. The 4th and 5th barracks is very delayed. This is the nature of these 2 barracks openings, is you're constantly producing Marines so early in the game, and even a few medevacs and the like, that it takes a while to get up to that full 5 racks production. Double Evo Chamber's now finished here for Reynor. If he can start 1-1 pretty quickly, he won't be too far behind. Queen's taking big damage. Normally, you want to try and pull back in this scenario as Reynor, but he actually pushed forward, and I love that move because he almost gets a medevac, and he gets a bunch of Marines. Beautiful trade. Also allows him to aggressively push his creep forward. 1-1-1 upgrades now starts. It's a minute behind Clem, which is a totally acceptable position to be in. He's going to have Baneling speed nice and early. Siege tank. Oh, is Clem going to do a tank push? He's got 2 tanks, but he's leaving 1 on the high ground, so he's just going to do a single tank push. This is a pretty light pressure. He's going to try and get in towards this 4th base. 5th base in the north, but he can at least start clearing the creep. And as long as you keep that tank, like I said, in a nice reserve position, somewhere a bit further back, maybe here or up there, you can actually do quite nicely. Yeah, he's going to put it on the left. Good creep clearing abilities. Reynor's only on 64 workers. He's got a massive amount of Zerglings, though. Baneling speed's almost done. Marines stimming forward. Wow, Clem's so aggressive. There's plenty of Ling Bane. This is easy defense for Reynor. But the medevacs, you know, the get out of jail free card of the Terran are going to be nice. He can just chase him back, force him away from this position, and respread the creep. You can see Reynor immediately putting a tumor down. We'd like to see a few more and putting them a bit further forward, because every little bit matters when it comes to creep spread. Oh, Clem pretends to evacuate, and then it just immediately goes back to the same position, sieges his tank a little more conservatively. He's being really annoying right now. Reynor's only on 71 workers against 63, but he's got an abundance of Ling Bane on the map, and I'd love to see him set up for a big counterattack. But look how careful Clem's being. Still has a tank there. Now he's bringing everything out. This is where a Ling Bane counterattack could actually ruin him. Imagine if Ling Bane busted the natural right now as these units are joining the front. But Reynor, I think he's going to set up a surround. Just the way he's moving his army, it doesn't look like a counterattack. It looks like he wants to flank. Oh, he senses it. Oh, but he gets spotted. He gets spotted. Oh, is Reynor going to pull the trigger? He could pull the trigger right now. I think he's well set up enough to do this. Here we go. Here we go. Army coming in from both sides. Sorry, I better keep that mini-map up so you guys can keep track of it. It's really hard to tell if Reynor's going to pull the trigger or not. Ling Bane, Queen. He's going to go forward with the Queens. Ling Bane comes in. Banelings go after the Marines on the right side. The Marines do escape the Banelings. Nice move for Clem. Saves some Marines on the front as well. But all of his tanks go down, and that's the most important thing I would say for Reynor, to dislodge this position. Clem, though, maintains position. Does he, though? Oh, burrowed Banelings! The money shot right there! Clem has been so adamant about holding this area, and Reynor, after clearing the tank, sets up a trap for him. Beautiful move. That one was in vision, though. Clem will scan and take those 2 down. Beautiful move by Reynor. Now remember, Reynor's done this off a lesser economy than he normally does. He does not have the abundance of money, so Reynor will not be as practiced in this position. he will not be quite as confident in his next steps because he's used to being at 85 workers for a few minutes by now. He's only now at 79. The Zergling's doing a nice spready. Oh, the retargeting! The retargeting for Clem! Overloading Reynor. Reynor was doing really nice splits, but Clem just retargeted those Widow Mines. Oh, Clem! And now he split an army to the north. Oh my gosh. Clem should have lost control and lost of that fight after the Baneling bombs, and he should have lost complete map control. But Clem is a freak. He's a freak. He's playing so well right now. There is a queen in position. That drop still not throwing the units away. He never throws all the units away. The queens should be able to deal with this, but it's so hard for Reynor to actually actively micro. The Widow Mines are finally all fired, but now he doesn't have much support left. The Baneling's trying to roll on top. Clem with his focus fire and his spread backs. He's trying to get rid of these Banelings. He's going to be able to take out a few more of them. He's focus firing like a monster. At the same time, the drop in the bottom left did go down. Looks like the queens took out those 2 medevacs. Is that enough? Remember, +2 melee has not started for Reynor. That's a big issue. He also does see this Widow Mine. He's got to clean that up. Don't waste your Banelings on it. Good moves for him. But worth it. Super worth. 2 Banelings for 5-6 Marines. It's not amazing, but it'll do. It'll do. Massive link counterattack. This is the move Reynor needs. Reynor's on 97 workers. After getting the Burrowed Baneling, he thought he could be greedy. Is this too greedy, guys? It very well may be. 97 workers is ridiculous. But of course, there's so much chaos going on. His link counterattack is so big. He gets a big amount of damage. The planetary is going to try to go down, but he can't quite kill it. Oh, that planetary comes up in the nick of time. Zergling's going to try to get out of there. The Marines chasing them down. It is 2-2 against 1-1. No +2 melee started. The chaos is getting to Reynor. Reynor needs to clear these Widow Mines and re-establish creep control, but he doesn't have Overseers on the top side. He's got a new one morphing. If he doesn't get rid of these Widow Mines, if he lets them keep firing, then he will be getting overwhelmed because he needs to regain control of this north side right now. Overseer goes north. If he loses the queens, it will be an issue. He's going to do some damage. Does lose 1 queen. Meanwhile, army in the south side looking to deny. Reynor is still stuck on his initial 5 bases. Not bad, but remember, he got stuck on 5 bases on Golden Aura, and he gassed out because he couldn't keep up in the long term. He's still at a massive worker count, but he's supply blocked right now. He's actually lost a lot of Overlords and Overseers in this game. Oh, that one. Okay, he has to sacrifice 2 to 3 Banelings extra just to kill that last Widow Mine because he didn't want it to fire, and that is costly. Double drop in the south side, dancing around, dodging here as the Widow Mines continue to fire. Reynor needs to make more Overseers, and he needs to do it right now. He's got Widow Mines that are just being left on location, and he is not cleaning them up effectively enough. Clem is putting him on the defensive. It felt like there should have been a moment here to grab momentum in this game, but he's not quite able to, and Clem is overwhelming him with sheer mechanical force of will. Those Widow Mines will not be able to fire. Going forward on the clump like that is a big mistake. Reynor finally gets a bit of a payoff here. Queen's taking out the medevacs. As long as he can route this position, this is great for Reynor. Takes out a bunch of medevacs. The Marines dropping into Banelings like psychopaths. Clem fighting in positions where he arguably should not be. Oh, the Widow Mine. Okay, good spready at the last second. Few Banelings blow up on that one, but look at this. He's going to abuse the Liberator Zone here because there is not a lot of anti-air. 8 queens are in the north. They need to get down here. He's got to rotate his queens. That's his only anti-air. Hydras are trying to come in right now. There's still no +2 melee, and that will matter the longer this game goes. 3-3 is almost finished. Oh no, 3-3 is almost finished, guys. Clem has less supply, but he's got 2 extra orbitals coming up. He's got 3-3 against 1-2 about to kick in. Even with Adrenal Glands, your units are just not going to be doing damage, especially to Marauders with that +3 armor up. Finally, those libs are dealt with. Reynor has a supply advantage, but Reynor needs to use this massive amount of money he has to get upgrades, and right now he's got a bit of a gas shortage, and more importantly, it feels like there is just a ridiculous amount of APM attention management, multitasking being used by Clem to keep Reynor away from focusing on the fundamentals. Remember when these guys played in Gamers 8 the previous year? It was Clem who in these intense games kept forgetting important upgrades and couldn't quite keep up with Reynor. This time around, it feels like Reynor is just being pushed to the limit while up 30 supply. And the reason is it's 30 worker supply. It's not army supply. I do think maybe he should have stopped at a slightly lower worker count. Clem is still down in supply, but he's securing a 5th base. And that's a big problem because you don't have a 6th base. Your creep spread is slowed down, and Reynor just cannot get control of anywhere outside of here. He doesn't have enough anti-air. He doesn't have Vipers out yet. He can't get rid of these drops, and you can tell he's getting frazzled because Clem is just so annoying with his micro. Oh my gosh, these Widow Mines, and he keeps retargeting, gets a shot there, doesn't land the big one he was looking for. Hydraling finally going to route this top side. I think Reynor still might have it. Reynor still might have it. This was an overextension. I think Clem may have just made a crucial mistake. The drop coming in the north. These drones are getting caught out. That drop is going to try and get out of there. Looks like an F2 if you ask me, though, as as it's flying right through the middle of the map. These units in the north only getting 2 drones. He needs like spores everywhere. He needs vipers. An infestor's coming out right now. Definitely a good unit the longer this goes. But I think Reynor needs a hatchery here, needs a hatchery there, and more importantly, he needs to respread creep, and he needs to keep counterattacking. Like this base, he needs to just keep sending units in. Not with the aim of doing damage, but with the aim of just getting Clem to be more defensively oriented, because Reynor has been pushed into a purely defensive position. Remember, we saw Clem make mistakes on Oceanborn because it was just constantly dealing with Zerg aggression, and that's where you start to see a few small mistakes. If Clem's attacking all game, he doesn't really make those mistakes. Hatchery in the south will go down. Drop in the main as well. Oh me, oh my. Clem is doing the old 3-prong. Gets the hatchery in the south. That's a kill, not a cancel. Main base, Zerglings will deal with it. Same time. Ooh, Hydraling Bane rolling on top. Hydraling Bane rolling on top. Good defensive engagement here for Reynor. The Widowmine tried to target on the Baneling, but it got taken down before it could fire. Another Widowmine is there, though. You gotta watch out. That one will take out 2 Banelings in the north side of the map. The drop gets cleaned up. The one in the main base, there is still a single Reddit Point Marauder being a bag of douche right now that is just so hard to deal with. Even I can't speak. I'm not even playing the game. I don't know how you keep up with this. Burrowed Baneling goes off, gets a big hit, but it was only 1. Doesn't quite kill all the Marines. The Hydra's chasing it off. Still, these medevacs flying through Spore Crawlers starting to die. The Libs on the left side finally getting cleaned up by the Queens. My lord, what an intense back and forth war this is. 2-3 upgrades are finally about to finish. Remember, it's 1-2 versus 3-3. Units lost tab is so close, though. Reynor has been fighting so well, but this comes at the cost of him having to focus on Burrowed Banelings, him having to focus on army in 3 places at once. The Liberator, it repositioned, which means he got rid of this base mining. Oh no! Guys, Clem has 5 bases mining. Reynor can't even mine from his 5 bases because he's constantly under harassment. Reynor's money's gone. Reynor's money is gone, and there is a new army on the front. They are both maxed out. This is a real problem. Reynor has 28 Hydras. He's massing Hydras right now. That's way too many Hydras. You don't want to be any more than 20, often no more than 10 to 15, especially not in one big army. They're all going to get stuck behind each other and get shredded by snipes. They're not going to be able to all attack at the same time. It's a nasty army comp for Reynor. He does get a good start to the fight, though. Widowmines do cleanse a lot of those Zerglings on the left side. There's not many Banelings left. There's no Fungal in here either, remember. There's no Burrow Fungal. Could be, like, game-changing, but he just doesn't have it. New 6th base on the bottom side coming in. Liberator comes in one more time. Clem has been so incessant with these Liberators. Gets himself a Hydra before he does get shot down. The drones will be able to return to mine, but of course the mining is right now 1,000 minerals in favor of Clem as he secures base number 6 in the top right side. Clem, you absolute freak. The level of pace you have put on Reynor has honestly caused a lot of mistakes. And it's crazy to see because I felt like Reynor had control of this game. He went up to 97 workers. You can argue that's a little high, but I mean, I don't think he consciously went to 97. I think he just built a bunch of drones. Oh, big Burrowed Banelings! Reynor pulling out the stops right to the bitter end. Dude, that was a big hit. Does he have enough to defend though? He doesn't have any Banelings here. No Fungal, no Banelings. The Hydras are starting to get gunned down. Remember, he doesn't have any attack upgrades. These are 0-3 Hydras against 3-3 Bio. The Hydras are not it. The Fungal comes in, but there's nothing to capitalize. Another Fungal goes down as well, but there's nothing to capitalize. There's no damage. At the same time, there's a drop in the south side. The Hydraling is crumbling. He did just kill the 3rd base, which is great. He finally counterswings, but he loses his 6th. He loses everything at his 5th. His army goes down. His army goes down. Reynor cannot hold on. And Clem is an unrestricted, unbounded freak of nature. His micro is too good. His macro is too good. And that is an insane game 5. GG. Well played. That arguably was the series of the tournament. Definitely, I gotta say, I think this is series ZVT of the tournament. And I think anyone who says Reynor is not in good form, or Reynor's still slumping, or Reynor didn't have a good world championship because he didn't make it to the finals, go back and watch this series again and again and just remind yourself how good Reynor is. The fact that Clem, though, is just on another level right now, GG, well played.